for the latter. But Tom, I'll be honest, my faith has been slowly but surely eroded away over the last couple weeks that we've been covering the PAL event in the previous series over in summer and in this one. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know if you're feeling optimistic today, although I know you, so probably not.
I to be honest, I don't like Invictus may have been a bit sketchy, but ultimately they've won all the games they should have done. And I think that's the way I have to look at this. That's why I've picked them, because they lost to Vici. One of the maps they lost 19-15 and probably should have won. That's the only game I can question. A very aggressive start, though, for the CT side. They're going to go pushing up, maybe a little bit of an overface towards the end of that one, as it does end up trading evenly. The peak still coming in from window. Bottle has a fairly good position here to potentially cause them some trouble. And I'm not liking the continuous re-peaks. That Molotov is atrocious. That's one of the worst Molotovs I think I've seen. It bounces off the window and hits Bottle. Luckily, being a Bottle himself, it didn't hurt too much.
Well, we're getting some bottle-on-bottle action. But yeah, this good start with the Molly. Really paints a pretty picture of what's to come. But no, between these two teams, I'm a little bit more optimistic than some of the previous matchups, that's for sure. NCL, okay, I like that. He's got one, but these other players are full HP. Gotta look for the headshots, and he's already found one. At 2v1, these players are so low, but Invictus throwing this one away. It's all down to Bottle to try and get this done. He finds the first to NCL. No idea where his teammate is, though. He's gonna rush into kitchen, clear it out, and move towards the bomb. Of course, it's down on short, so we can't even go to the A site. And this is a problem, so he'll realize at this point, though, Cabal, is he in apartments? Probably not. It's probably going to be the short play. He jumps across, trying to avoid the headshots, and he's so close. With 3 HP, Cabal comes out on top. Tiger, 1-0. Oh my, that was a 2v3 where they were each, like, so close to being one hit.
You know what that was? That was Whiff City Mitch. Whiff City Mitch. I can't sing the rest of the song.
Good God.
10, 10, 10, 20s on your something, Mitch.
on my wang.
Do you know what I realized? I was going to sing this actual song, and then I realized that your name perfectly fits in the place of the other word.
Stitch?
Sure.
Lilo's singing it?
Yeah, it was Stitch, and not one beginning with a B. Either way, we are going to have the pistols forced in. Destroyer. And see, this is the one thing that made me not want to predict Invictus, is this man. I'm sorry, I may sound like a hater, because he does have some good matches, but his decision-making is questionable. And by questionable, I mean a lot of the time wrong, but he makes it work. I've made the analogy before of that the child who ignores their parent and doesn't get hurt. That is Destroyer. Like, it's like, no, don't run into the road, and then runs into the road and, like, finds £5. Like, that would be Destroyer. So, or €5, dollars, wherever you're from, yen, maybe.
Probably uses if it's 5 rubles. It's a couple cent, I reckon.
Yeah, when you're a kid,
yen as well.
Find a penny, pick it up all day long. You'll have good luck.
Don't do that now. It might have a virus on it. You want to stay away from any foreign objects. Don't touch things. Stop
that's always a
people.
point, though, isn't it? If you take money out, you don't know where that's been.
Yeah.
Don't use money.
Well, like
only pay by card.
I don't
unless you live in Germany, when they have random places where you can only pay with cash. You shouldn't be outside anyway, so fine.
I went to get my driver's license, my learner's permit a while back, and I went down and I got denied it because I didn't bring a card. I thought I could use my Android to pay, you know, the Google Pay. That's what I use everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
And no, you couldn't.
But do you know what I had? So obviously the wonderful people at Blast sent us some stuff. Like, I'm currently using the camera. It's great. So when I went to pick it up from a company who I shall not name because they do sponsor another organizer.
All right, okay.
You can probably work it out.
Yeah.
I went down there and I went through the whole process, did everything, and they went, okay, now you need to transfer us some money. And I went, okay, then can I have the item? This was at 4:30 and went, sorry, the place closes at 5. And I went, well, if I just pay you with card? And they went, oh no, you either transfer us the money and get it tomorrow or pay us in cash. And I was like, well, what? How's that a thing? So basically I had to go back the next day to get the box because I wasn't able to pay them. That was the reason. It's a superb system. I'm not going to say it's the stupidest thing I've ever been. It's like, I'm trying to give you money. Take the money. Take the money. Give me the thing that is already mine, but I'm having to pay you because it came into the country. Not still annoyed by it, though, Mitch. Not still annoyed by it.
No, you let it go. You've let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go. Either way. Yeah. I realized I said that twice, and that's cursed.
We're getting a lovely serenade by Blair on the TeamSpeak. It's great.
He should dye his hair the same color as Elsa's. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, why don't you do it, Tom? Why don't you dye your hair?
I would love to have hair like Elsa. I've never actually watched that film. I'm probably never will.
All right, Tom. Well, I'm getting you to dress up as Elsa on a broadcast someday. That's just happening.
Buy me the outfit, and it's I'm paying a lot of money, and it's done.
I'm gonna get it for you in a kid size as well, so it's a belly top.
Wow, that's cursed. He's gonna get a double kill. This is a good start for Tiger. They started off strong. This was a round that really we expected the T's to win as they come in with a better purchase. R9 did invest into his AWP. Bit of an unorthodox position to be holding with an AWP. The bomb is down, so they are going to have to make their move eventually, but this should be unlosable. Something I've said before, but this time I believe it. Too many positions to check. Saga needs to go ham. He does get a couple of kills, but they've got a kit available to them eventually when they get onto the bomb, which they will. And Tiger are going to take themselves off fourth. Of course, maximum loss bonus, some kills coming along the way, and a bomb plant. Invictus can still buy again.
Swinging in with the cash. Yeah, I love the amount of money that they managed to farm though with these SMGs across the last 2 rounds. I think Tiger have gotten off to a fantastic start here, realistically. With it being Mirage as well, this is where the question mark kind of comes around. Obviously, when it comes to train, you would hope Tiger will perform well. Obviously, as well, though, you've got to put the caveat of Cabal with the AWP. They've tried it so consistently when it comes to that map, and it has never worked. I struggled to... And by struggle, I mean I can't even think of a round where it did work. The only reason I say I can't think of it, as opposed to it definitely didn't, is because I can't remember every single round, Tom. Maybe one. Maybe it worked once. The vast majority of the time, it was a very flat failure. We're seeing the AWP in the hands of 9, looking to hold off towards ramp. He blocks the smoke, but it's not going to give him a great gap to play off of, if a gap at all. He just pushes out to site, but Urcast is there, holding it down. Dobu's got under as well, and this is looking very good. Urcast, a little bit of an overextension, but it should be okay. Unless Destroyer can pull off something absolutely massive. They managed to tag up 9 through the ball. Ooh, okay. Dobu took a while. I don't know what happened from his perspective there. Destroyer dropped on him, and they just kind of stared at each other for a while, it looks like. But a nice 5th, and that was much, much cleaner, especially denying the bomb plant is the massive point about it, because if Invictus got that plant, it's a comfy buy, whereas now, they can't really afford to invest.
Yeah, this is one of those rounds where I'm looking at Invictus and just sort of thinking, like, what's going on here? Like, you don't check above Balk and you don't check the sandwich. That begs the question, where were you looking? Because those are 2 spots. Like, if you sort of get one, I can kind of forgive it, because I'm like, okay, you're checking under Balk, so that probably means you missed the sandwich, or you're checking sandwich, so maybe you missed under Balk. If you miss both, then you've just walked into the site and tried to take a duel with CT, and that's a position you've smoked. The same if you've gone over towards jungle connector. You've already smoked those positions, so you need to clear out the positions, I can't believe I'm saying this, that aren't smoked. So I don't know if they just assumed because they Molotoved under Balk that no one could ever be above it, but that's just a peculiar round, and it makes it very easy for Dobu, who I don't even think died in the end. Like, if you're on top of Balk and you push the A site and the guy on Balk survives, you've had a very bad round. And then the other, I think, was Urkast in the sandwich. So, I don't know. Either the utility they used didn't force them out properly, either they didn't check it properly, which I think is the actual answer. All in all, they just whiffed their shots. But for Invictus, that was a poor round. For Tiger, hey, it went fantastically. They play a bit of a risky setup because, as I said, if things are Molotoved and checked properly, it would have been an easy round for Invictus, but hey, they didn't.
Well, Tom, on the 5-0 position at the moment, I think drastic changes need to be made over on Invictus coming into this next buy round. They've tried the faster plays towards A, and they've had medium amounts of success in getting towards the site, getting a plant every now and then, as we're seeing even in this round, with just the pistols. But it only buys you so much faith, you know? You're getting plants, so you can keep on buying, but if you keep on losing, it doesn't really net you a whole bunch. And it's been a slow start as well for some of the big players. I feel like in this tournament as well, similar to Beyond, we're seeing Invictus on worse form individually. So Flying, he was a guy, blew our socks off every single day that we saw him on the broadcast. This guy was dropping 30s. He was wrecking face everywhere. And in this tournament, the only thing I've been impressed by really is the remnants of Flying. Like a couple around, like a round here or there. That's it. And
he played well the last time we saw them on Mirage. Like his like A-site defense saved them a few times.
Yeah.
But that seems to be the issue. Is I don't necessarily want to blame him individually. I think it's actually more that they're relying on him too much. Like because Viva's been so inconsistent. Destroyer is, you might as well just call him Mr. Inconsistent, because he'll get 5 kills and then get 30. And because of that, they rely on Flying to basically bring them back in impossible rounds like this, for example. 2 players peek out. He has to then run out after the bomb to try and get a kill. He gets 1 and then gets traded, and Bottle gets another. Like, it just seems like the other players aren't doing enough, and he has to try and drag them out of a really tough spot. He's someone I really would love to see on, like, maybe a Vici. Like, if they ever did make that sort of switch away to move Advent into a coaching role, I think that could be a beautiful addition to the team, just to see him not have to do absolutely everything. Galsage has managed to get himself into a good position. Now, considering this was a 5-on-3, this has very quickly slipped away, potentially needing to fall back after the initial kills, and Galsage is going to be ready for this. So Invictus get around on the board. That is not one I think they could recreate, though. There was quite a lot of luck and some overfacing from Tiger that let things slip away. Yeah,
quite a bit indeed. And for Invictus, as you said, I don't feel like it's going to be repeatable, but you'll take it when they come your way. A good little boost of momentum to come on in and see big performances like that coming into play. Now, Galsage has been a player that a couple of times we've seen him carry this team on his back. He was another one of the players, wasn't he, that they lost a map where he dropped 30+ kills?
I think that was on Nuke.
Yeah, I think so. And
versus Vici, right? Where they lost like 10 rounds in a row or something. No, 9 in a row.
When you got someone that's willing to do that work, because we talk about Flying for sure, about Viva, but Galsage is not usually a player that will highlight for being on top of the scoreboard, for getting, you know, carrying the team in that regard. And yet, we've seen it in this tournament. I feel like Invictus overall, you know, as you said, they've struggled in a lot of their matchups, but they've been winning the games at the end of the day. Great little push by Urcast around that smoke. The timing was perfect. They're going to push back in. At least it looked like they were. I don't know if Flying fell or if he meant to drop down. Either way, they won't be going in for any more control. 9 dropped immediately. That is CT open, but there's still a player close ramp they don't know about. Dobu up close in the smoke. He fades through as it fades and looks for a swing, but Bottle was ready. And now they're in trouble. They're actually pushing right into Urcast. What was that about? They've got site control. They killed the CT player and they decide to push jungle.
Ooh, oh, they're a bit lucky with that, because reloaded just as they go to plant the bomb. NCL, he might have just missed his opportunity there. The element of surprise is gone. Nade will burn out the back corner, but there's nobody there. And a lot of these after plant positions for the T side look a bit uncomfortable. They're going to be fairly reliant on Bottle here, but there's nobody watching behind. They're not prepared for him to come in on the flank. So he has the perfect position to basically hold off anybody trying to go for a defuse here. Very well placed, but they cleared up both the remainder. They should expect this. They really should expect this. And now it's just going to be the bomb tap. This round's already over. It doesn't matter even if Kabab managed to hit the shot, which he had Norp, so he wouldn't. And that's going to be 6-2. Invictus again. They're scraping it through. Bottle, fantastic work from him, of course. But, well, I sort of mentioned it. Like, they're relying on Bottle. The other players look like they're in uncomfortable positions. They both get killed. It just doesn't seem like Invictus at the moment have a plan.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. And it does seem a little bit up in the air, a little bit random, but hell, it's getting them rounds. They come up against a weaker buy. SMG's pushing right up in. I like this. Bottle caught off guard by it. Cabal's able to get the opening kill. An upgraded weapon as well in just a second as he smokes it off. And with that, a great start to this round for Tiger. And Dobu this time, actually, not 9. Playing over towards Ticket as Urkas takes a kill long range. Dobu's looking for another victim, ready for them to push out a ramp. Oh my god! Smoke goes down and Xiaosage straight through it onto the head of Dobu. The Opper's gone. They know where 9 is. This is a great recovery again by Invictus, but it comes all the way back, and Xiaosage's got a 1v4. What a crazy round. What's just happened, Tom?
I genuinely don't know. Urkus is having one of those games, by the way. He's on 17 kills in 9 rounds. He's genuinely gunning for a 2 KD. Cabal, he was impactful in that round, SMG plus an AK, but yeah, I like how proactive they were to start, but then it was just like, I don't know how they let that slip so easily. It just seems like the second the bomb goes down, all the Invictus players just like lose their heads, and they never get any positioning while they're actually planting it. So if you notice, they were clamoring to try and gain CT control. They didn't have Palace control. They didn't gain ramp control, and then they plant in for CT. Like, there's no plan. It's just genuinely just run in and try and kill everyone. And that's why every time we're in a retake situation, it looks really, really awkward, because they've basically already lost the round the second the bomb gets planted.
I get what you're saying, right? I can see that as well. At times, it's like the strategies get in, kill them, but they don't have those protocols in place. You know, it's almost like they don't plan to get the bomb down. So when it goes down, they're like, wait, what do we do now?
Right, let's run and take some control now. It's like, no, that's too late.
They've already before.
And that's the one thing that I think Tiger are really doing excellently, is just going, okay, let's just keep Palace. Okay, let's just keep CT. Let's just keep jungle. Like, and none of their players are giving those positions up. So when it comes down to a retake, they have everything. This time, they've managed to get control at least of ramp and Palace. But look at all the remaining portions of the map. The connector already taken. Jungle already taken. CT already taken. And so the Ts are forced into a position where they have to take fights because they don't have any control. Now, they're doing an all right job of it, but because they lost the initial pick, it's so easy for Tiger just to come back into these rounds. And Viva, he now has to try and win an impossible scenario. They have utility to hold him off. And again, it's over. Like, that's all Tiger really have to do. It's obviously easier said than done, but they're managing to just basically go, you're not having any control of where we can retake. So it's so easy for them to just go, okay, there's like 2 positions we have to clear, and then that's round over.
But it's a very two-dimensional approach to the early round, right? In terms of getting that bomb planted. And it's something that I think is glaringly obvious to us. Where the attack pauses as well, so they can figure it out if they haven't already. Like, the fact that they're not gaining map control. Now, this round's a little bit different. Oh my god, 9, what are you doing? This guy's just pushed top mid with an op. Straight in there. Support from Connector was pulled back. He was just left to die. He was here in the steps as well. He might have gotten a god tier flank only for that wide swing out. Now they've gained mid control. They've gained short control. They've got apartments. They've got Palace. This is great. But now they need to do something with it. Because it feels like at this point, definitely we've had that change of thought process where they're like, all right, we're not getting the control, so we need it. But now what do you do with it? That's what I'm looking for.
Well, again, we see the early trades go in favor of Tiger. They've looked dominant in this first half. Not really seen anything from the stars of this squad. Again, Destroyer having one of those rough games, flying not even on the board, which is terrifying because, as I said, he's maybe not been as good as we've seen him before, but he's normally at least still at the top of the board for his squad and potentially in the whole server. This time, though, Tiger have looked unreal. And I don't know if this is just maybe one of those situations where they're playing to the level of their opponent. They're playing better than they have because they know how important this match is. but it really is night and day to what we've seen previously. Viva, again, is going to be left alone. He can't get anything done. These rounds have been clean and clinical. Urkust is up to 20 kills in the first half. Now, we've seen him get 19 a couple of times, but bear in mind, that was round 11. So he's still gunning for close to 2 KD every single round. That's ridiculous.
You know what? This is one of the few times, Tom, where I'm not going to come in. If this is a very dominant series by Tiger, I'm not going to be coming in with the whole, like, ha, you thought Invictus would win. Because this is not a team. First of all, Tiger, not a team you could have any sort of faith in. Her performances recently have been pretty atrocious. And my logic when it comes to Invictus is that the reason the other games have been so close is because they knew they should automatically win them. Maybe they didn't come in showing their full hand. In this game, there's no excuse for that kind of thing. And we are seeing them really struggle to fix some very basic issues. Attempting the same round 4 or 5 times in a row, and then eventually realizing there's something wrong with it. But it seems like even the B plans don't have a lot of depth to them. So far, I've seen nothing that I've really been impressed with from Invictus. Even the rounds they're winning, as we were saying at the time, you know, it doesn't feel repeatable. It's one guy popping off, giving them these openings, 3Ks and 2Ks. But in the absence of that, in the absence of some sick, instantaneous headshots, they don't seem to have much to fall back on at the moment.
Pretty sure we've also seen Destroyer die in the exact same spot around short for like 2-3 rounds now. He's just trying the same blast out mid and it doesn't work. As said, I don't think this man has levels to his game. I'm not a fan. He's got good individual skill, but for someone who's like no longer a youngster, it doesn't seem like he's developed much of his game. Risky from Urkust though. Maybe finally going to counter that 2 KD as he tries to make a push through the smoke. 9 making the rotation. This is one of the first times we've actually seen some proper control taken as well. It's flying to do it. As said, every retake we've seen from Tiger has involved them having all control except for Palace and Ramp, and maybe even sometimes Palace. This time, jungle is taken by flying, mainly because of Urkust's push through the smoke, and it's a completely different story. They don't even get close to taking back this round. One of the main issues we've seen from Invictus finally being rectified, and basically something we also mentioned. Normally, this man is at the top of the board. One of the first rounds they win in a while, it's a 4K from flying.
Yeah, and so far it hasn't been like he's whiffing shots. It's the opportunities that aren't being given to him. And in this one, Tiger come right through. They obviously feel a little bit bad because they gave all the opportunities away. Now, I'll chalk that one up to a little bit of confidence in the fact that they had been given so much space for so long that they probably presumed it was going to be much more of the same. But now that they've been punished for it, I don't think that's going to be an issue again. I do like the adjustment, though. Obviously, the push from Invictus, moving in towards middle, taking that control, sitting down pretty in connector for a little bit, and then pushing into the site. That's much better than having this very two-dimensional, one-directional approach. And at the moment, you can see that Invictus are even changing up their strategy round to round. This is a much slower approach by them, but I think it has very much the makings of being the same round. Just play it out on the clock a little bit more. Underpass push, players coming out middle. The bomb is starting to move towards B, but it always has that underpass rotation to play with. But as they give up control over Palace, it looks like they might actually be looking for a B split through short.
Well, the smokes have been thrown. Connector window sectioned off. Good position here from Cabal. Waiting patiently, both players hitting the dink, but it's flying that comes out successful. Bottle runs in, just pre-fire in the close corner. He was sold on somebody being there. NCO initially is going to be forced off, but he's still able to hold on to the control. And now Destroyer goes running the gauntlet into the site, maybe trying to act as a bit of a distraction to allow the players out, but he hasn't been able to. And he's missed the timing, I think, on Urkust. They are running out of time just in general, though. 20 seconds left on the clock. They finally get a kill, but NCL has done the damage elsewhere. 9 is going to close the round. And Invictus, they're back to Struggle City, as even with a weaker buy for Tiger, they can't quite close it out.
Well, they tried to change it up a little bit there, moving in towards the B side. And I actually don't mind. So, normally if something works, you want to do it again, right? You want to punish a little bit more. But that round was... the previous one was overextension from Tiger. And I think they realized, if we try that again, they're just not going to overextend. They're going to play for the retake. And we'll have a much rougher time. And so this time, they changed the strategy. But it didn't work. Good opening, though. Xiao Saga able to find one. 9 has the opportunity, but he misses the shot. Down to 19 HP, tucked away, and he goes down through the wall. Great start for Invictus.
Yeah, they're going to continue with just this sheer aggression out towards the A site. They found the openers this time, and well, it's left down to just 2. They're going to clear out NCL. Cabal, the last one remaining. Not going to be able to do anything this time. We'll just have to save the AWP. They will get to 4 at least. Obviously, on other maps, if we were looking at a train, a nuke, maybe even an overpass sometimes, 4 rounds wouldn't be a death sentence. I feel like on Mirage, they're going to need an absolute miracle. The only thing I will say is there's been a common trend within this tournament of just teams having dreadful T sides. I think it's been the CT side that most teams have been able to pull out prominently, so maybe Invictus can bring it back in that regard. I do also think Viva / maybe Destroyer applying the AWP on the CT side probably going to have more impact as well, so there's still a chance. A 5th round would definitely give them a boost in confidence, and well, a pistol after that, but I feel like I'm asking for a lot when you need a last round of pistol and then obviously the conversions to just be back in the match.
Yeah, that is definitely a bit of a long shot, Tom. But it's all that they've got. It's either a long shot or a loss. Well, let's see how Invictus handle this coming into this round. Again, they've got everything they could possibly want to work with and going for much the same approach. 2 players apps, 2 players top mid, and a little bit of palace control looking for the aggression. They seem to have their protocol set. But another push by an SMG, this time Urcast, up in the B apartments that finds a rifle for him. Nice little upgrade with a man advantage. Not going their way because of the trade onto NCL, but at least evenly put into a 4v4. With the weapon upgrade, I feel like that's it's okay for the CT side. Not as bad as it would normally be trading 1 for 1.
Ooh, just Connector giving up, and Obu maybe not privy to that information. 9 is at least going to be able to trade 1 back, but the fact is the site has already fallen. A little bit of team damage as well. Cabal's going to retrieve the AWP, which is unfortunate. The Molotov is actually going to force flying out. In fact, it's 9 that goes down to it. Flying now going to take jungle control. And as said, once this jungle control has been gathered, normally it becomes tough. Xiao Sage in a close position. I don't know if they'll expect him to be here, and that's the instant headshot onto 1. Cabal, he does actually connect the shot, but unfortunately, he must have clipped the wall. So Invictus, they do manage to get 3 of the last 4 rounds. A bit of a comeback after what was a really slow start to this first map. Of course, this is their map choice, so we're expecting them to take this one realistically, but as of right now, it's not looking too good.
No, it really isn't. Yeah, this map definitely plays out as one of the more evenly matched ones. And so when you come in and you have this kind of performance, just 5 rounds, regardless of side, it's not enough. They're going to have to fight hard to get back into this game, and it starts here on the pistol round. The problem is they have very little to say about what happens. Tiger are the ones that get to dictate how these rounds go, and you can see immediately they're focusing the A site. And what's scary about this is it's a 3-man stack on B. So they're going to find a player in CT, and Flying, he can't even fight this, to be honest. Once the smokes come over, his support towards jungle is shut out. He'll throw the nade, and he'll just back off and play for the 5v5 retake.
Yeah, they do have a kit available to them. I like this, though. The T's instantly knowing that they need to gain some control. Trying to peek into this one. Fake flash with the decoy. There are going to be multiple players coming in this direction. It's just going to come down to the jewels. They actually go pushing. It might be a little bit much for my liking. Lots of flash assists coming through from Destroyer. I know Mitch is going to be happy about that one. Probably more than we saw in a couple of the previous maps. Now it's left all onto Urcus. A flawless retake from the side of Invictus. Maybe a little bit over aggressive from Tiger, but nonetheless, they really wanted that CT control.
Yeah, a bit of a misread on what was going on, and ultimately just a good setup by Flying and Destroyer. So they have utility in that round. They pull back. So as soon as Flying spots the players, he comes back, plays in CT. Then the flashes come through from himself and Destroyer, and they're able to easily find those 3 kills. That is genuinely almost as many flashes as we saw in some of the first maps. That's crazy. Like 30-round maps, that is. But yeah, altogether, fantastic work. Invictus deserved that round. Can't say a whole lot negative about what they did. And even about Tiger, you know, they went in for CT control. I don't think that's a bad idea, but the setup they were against perfectly countered that. Now we move into this round with what is going to be a mixed bag for Tiger, but having gotten that plant down gives them 2 AKs alongside pistols. Quite a bit to work with. They've got utility as well backing it up.
We'll see if they can make something work with this. Of course, if they don't, going to allow for the CTs to potentially come back into this game, but with shots like that, maybe it won't matter. That was one of the Deagle players as well. You have to bear in mind that both Urkus and Dobu have been handed AK-47s. Probably the players that you would want to have them as well. Urkus, I think it was 20 kills he had within, what, 11 rounds? I think that's what we were looking at.
Something like that.
I'm going to rely on him at this point. Potentially going to be setting up some utility into the B side, although that is where a couple of the defenders are. Jalsage, no head armor, but he does have an AUG, and Flying about to get into a more aggressive position. The flashbang comes through, it's not been checked, and actually Flying's going to go chasing. He wanted that first man bad, but it might have been better to stick around and try and get a little bit more for his money. The damage is, however, being done, but it's the T still coming out on top. They don't properly check for Jalsage. He'll just about get away with 1 kill, but it still gives Destroyer a chance. Not been the best of games for him, but I'm sure his team won't mind if he can steal this round back. 2 low players, a kit available. He's waiting on a mistake. Somebody basically has to peek him. I do think that potentially Urkus just flashed himself, but let's ignore that, as Destroyer will eventually just have to fall away. So they make it work. It definitely wasn't clean. It definitely wasn't pretty, but Tiger have the round.
Well-deserved round and a much-needed one, really, to stop Invictus from getting off to that strong start. You gotta remember, if they win this round, Tiger do go to pistols, it ends up being a 10-8 scoreline, and Invictus are very much back in the game. Not in the driver's seat, they've made it to the same vehicle. At this point, though, they're on a different road. Tiger are on the highway, while Invictus have yet to find any sort of tarmac. The position for the CT side as well, you just take a look at the money that they had in that round. It's really crippling to lose that second. And something that we talked about in the previous series as well, Tom, was that you end up with Tiger, lose the pistol, but get a bomb plant so they've got a strong buy with rifles. Invictus, lose that round, just one loss, same as Tiger, and they get nothing. It's like Deagles at very best.
Yeah. Doesn't seem fair, but you know what? Life's not fair. We're gonna have the push coming in. Viva is actually playing anti-flash. Don't necessarily mind the idea, but it hasn't worked. Destroyer's managed to find 2, however. And M4 doing damage. I imagine that means that there was some sort of gap in the smoke, or he just got very lucky. And yeah, well, I can see it now. And the smokes have faded. The bomb's been dropped in the open. This has all fallen apart. Urkus, he needs to pull out his carry pants once again. He's going to manage a first kill. They've got to be careful here. Obviously, Destroyer's the danger man, and he just about wins that battle. NCL was watching and waiting to be put in the backpack instead. Well, he's got to try and find some legs of his own. Oh, he's been spotted. There's no way he gets out of this. Nice round from Destroyer. As said, he had an incredibly slow start to this game. 6 kills up until this point, but managed 4 in just 1 round. So maybe we'll see a bit of a comeback from him.
Disgusting work by Destroyer. Of all the rounds, this is where you want to pull it out as well, right? Keeping yourself alive in the early half. Really putting Tiger on the back foot. But again, that buy is going to come through in the T side. Well, after a round loss, they always look that little bit better. The loss bonus lead that they have thanks to losing the pistol. They've got 2 AKs, a Galil, and 2 Deagles to back them up. And oh, that's dangerous. Shaosage spraying through the smoke, and he gets his comeuppance. Cabal able to take the headshot, open up B a little bit, and potentially cause a rotate over. I'm surprised, actually. Flying is still here by himself. He didn't even throw a molly or anything down. That is a very odd turn of events. That was also their smoke in apps, and it's not often that you see a smoke on balcony from the CT side and then a spray through it. If anything, that might be the first time I've seen that.
Yeah. Great success. Well, we've seen a back and forth so far. Eva, hey, I like it. Quick kill, fades away, gets the man advantage back. Sure, some rifles have been juggled over, so it's not too much of an issue for Tiger. They're still in this round at least. But at a minimum, they want to try and get a bomb plant here. They've not spotted the players. And underpass is going to be Bottle. Perfectly timed peek. Viva now looking to clean things up. Good round from him. 3 kills. He's definitely been the most sporadic man on this team, but I think probably the most terrifying when he got going. Like, the winning 4K rounds with a Deagle and no armor is something that I definitely don't want to be playing against. And Urkus right now, 25 kills. If they go on to lose this map, honestly, like, I think I'm going to have to start the Save Urkus campaign.
We'll have to do it. The GoFundMe. Get him back to Australia.
The funny thing is normally you try and rescue the tigers, whereas in this case we would be rescuing Urkus from Tiger.
Yeah, I think normally if there's a man stuck in with tigers, the GoFundMe isn't going to get there in time. To be honest. He's going to be dead.
But this man has been in the tiger cage for the last 8 seconds. If you send all of your money in the next 3 seconds, maybe we can save him.
Oh, never mind. He's dead.
Never mind. He's covered in barbecue sauce. He never stood a chance.
Like some people bathe in water, some people bathe in milk. This man bathed in barbecue sauce. Unfortunate. Well, don't step into a cage filled with tigers if you're covered in barbecue sauce, is what we've learned today. And what Tiger are learning is
the more you know.
There you go. It might not seem intuitive, but they will eat you. For Tiger, they're learning that Invictus are not an easy opponent. I think this is a position where they're going to start to sweat a little bit. That big lead they had, 10-5, up 11 as well, is now starting to really close in on them.
Yeah, this was a 6-0 start, so it's definitely got rough from there. I think it was what, 8-2.
Yeah,
and since then they've only managed a couple of rounds, so it's starting to get a little bit uncomfortable for the side of Tiger. A map that was looking like it was already theirs. We were talking about how maybe they play better versus better opponents, which I think they definitely have, but also how Invictus never really got off to a strong start. So now they've got the money behind them. They've got a fair few AKs on their CT side, which is always nice to see. Viva, though, or did he adapt his jump based off that's like the utility that was thrown? Because if he managed to just quickly decide to jump up towards the vent instead, then he has the movement of a god.
I'm not sure. Not sure if it was intentional the whole time and he was just spotting for them, but either way, still his beautiful movement. With the 1-for-1 trades going down early on, you can see that Invictus they're a little bit worried because look at their defense. It's spread out. They can't cover every angle. Steps being hurt in connector. I think at this point, they should be aware that 9 has got this control. But they're worried about a boost through window. Viva has to cover short. But he's hearing the steps. He knows our cast is coming. Where does Urkas go with this? Does he check close left? He has to, but crouched down in the corner. Viva catches him off guard for a free kill. Tiger on the struggle bus. Viva, oh, great push. So well timed. Catches 9 off. Dobu's got one onto jungle, but there's still so much more to do. Bomb only now coming. Can't even trade out as Shaosage eliminates Dobu. Hooks away in the corner. Oh, that was an unnecessary peek. Please don't do any more of those, Invictus. 20 seconds. They can just wait for Cabal to try and plant. And they're gonna peek him! Why are they peeking him? All they had to do was wait for the plant, Tom. And now it's a 1v1. Sure, he's low HP, but he's got the AK. Gonna look for the headshot, and he's got it! Why have you done that, Invictus? They've thrown it away! Oh my! Of all the rounds to lose, Tom, that was locked in. They had it.
Damn. It's hard to know what to say in those sort of situations. Invictus. Oh god. It's so disappointing because there's so many positions where you kind of sit there and go, this team could be good. Like, and then they do stuff like that, and it's just everything fades away. The funny thing is okay, they've just lost a 1v3 that was ridiculously silly. They peak 1 by 1. Just an awful way to try and play that situation. The fact is, if they wait for him to even just attempt to plant the bomb, they win that round without having to break a single sweat. Probably one player gets the kill and they don't even have to worry about anything. Instead, they've just completely thrown that for absolutely no reason at all. And yeah, Tiger are now in a position where their money is awful. And if this is the thing that's tilting, right? If Invictus now go on to win this round, Mitch, they're probably in a better position. At the same time, that is dumb.
Yeah, oh, definitely. What I will say, though, Tom, Cabal played that clutch unbelievably. He did such a damn good job. But the difference is, if he fake planted that and then got that kill on CT, amazing play by him. The fact that all he had to do was walk over to triple, just cross connector, and they're like, oh, I need to peek him. Like, why? There's like 20 seconds left. Let him fake it and then swing while he's getting his gun back out, even if he is faking. That was pathetic. Invictus, though, of course, are going to win this round. Of course they are. As a straight push towards the B site just is not working out. A 4v2 comes into play. And Tiger, just look at this. They're just stuck in apps. Just sat there waiting for an opportunity. And Invictus, I think they've learned their lesson in the previous round.
Oh, Piva's not going to miss a shot like that. A slow peek into his AWP, and it leaves 9 remaining. Definitely not had the best of games so far. And I do think that at least in the first half, Tiger have been severely padded by the god that is Urkus. And now we're starting to see the fall off. Because this is something that I personally like to talk about quite regularly. A player getting 20 kills in a half, not that uncommon. A player doing that back-to-back halves, obviously quite rare. Because the amount of games that we see 35 plus kills is slim. We've seen, I think, 2 in this entire tournament so far, in regulation at least. So, yeah, realistically, those sort of performances are not going to happen very often. And, well, the sad thing for Ronin is when he did it, he actually lost the map. So, I'm starting to worry now, because the Urkus has slowed down a bit. No fault to his own. Like, he had a fantastic first half. I don't think he can be expected to do everything here. That's a little bit much, but without him getting 20 kills, as said, in 11 rounds, which is almost 2 kills a round. I don't know if the maths man wants to tell me exactly how much. But without that, you can definitely see that Invictus are now in the driver's seat. They're coming back into this one. And nobody's really stepped up to the mantle. Sure, Cabal had that 1 round. He's been doing well. 19 and 12. Good game. But now we're starting to see the holes with NCL and 9 not performing. And I'll be honest, 9 for a primary AWPer, it's not that great.
He doesn't have the flashy style, certainly, of any of the other guys. And even when it comes to consistency with that rifle, I think, yeah, he leaves a little bit to be desired. There's certainly a lot of flaws when it comes down to this team, and maybe that's why they wanted to put Cabal on the AWP a little bit, give him a try with it. I prefer they didn't, especially after the clutch that we just saw. Guy's an absolute beast when it comes to rifling. And not a beast when it comes to opping.
I even wonder if someone like Kaz might be a better option. That might just be me romanticizing how Checkmate have been playing recently, but I don't know. He seemed like a decent AWPer. Even Dobu when he AWPs. I just don't. I definitely don't think Cabal should ever AWP because he is a great rifler. But with 9, I'm just starting to question, like, if we're having to see multiple performances where Urkus just goes ham and he's not really getting any openers, whether it be on the CT side or the T side, that's just not good enough. Xiao Sage, this is a audacious boost. Oh,
he knows what's going on. He knows exactly what's happening. Easy, easy peasy. Nade even down to just deal a little bit more damage. It doesn't quite land where it should have, but you'll be happy with the opening duel nonetheless. Tiger left kind of hands on their head going, what the hell just happened? Now they look to split in towards this A site. Bottle able to shut down Dobu. Now it's a two-dimensional push through connector. He can't isolate that fight, but do they expect this? The fact that Destroyer is on ramp, I think, is just going to get at least... See, 1 free kill because he's got the op. That's the problem. He can't really get much more after it. There's 1 swings for the bomb planter, but can't get him. And 9 returns the kill, but he's got a 1v3 to win.
I think that luckily it's going to be enough for the rest of the team, but... Destroyer, just stop the ball. Why have you even allowed that to go down? I guess he wanted to go for 2. That's probably the reason. And it's enough in the end. But a bomb plant at least is something for Tiger. It will give them enough money to buy into the next round, although it won't be a particularly pretty one. Might even be worth going for just some pistols into this round. But yeah, Invictus have brought this back. As I said, this was a 6-0 and then an 8-2 scoreline in the first half. It was looking like Tiger were dominating. The rounds were relatively clean. They were playing very well. And by they, I mean Urkus. And now it's gone. It seems like a lot of the players have fallen quite flat. And on the other side of things, Viva's now up to 21 kills. He's getting close to that mark. Destroyer, I think there was a point where he was like 3-11. Granted, he's not at the top of the board now, but he's up to 13. Xiao Sage's on 20 kills. I know that just talking about numbers is kind of boring, maybe to everyone except Mitch, but even that alone sort of defines how this game has turned on its head.
Yep, I 100% agree. Like, it has literally done a backflip, but only halfway. Hasn't landed on its feet, and nor has Tiger, although they may be known for it. These cats are struggling to really find the ground with anything but their backs. And man, oh man, it's not changing. They have only got the pistols at least, but no kills coming through just yet as they're left into a 5 versus 2. Tiger looking to at least get that bomb plant down. Make some sort of return on investment for the pistols that they bought up, but it doesn't look like anything is going to come through, and indeed in the end, it doesn't. 13-12, Tom. The lead now goes to Invictus for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Viva, Xiao Sage, 11 and 12,000. The rest of the team still with enough to buy, and well, Tiger's still somewhat scraping the bottom of the barrel just to continue to purchase. Bomb plants have become a bit of a necessity, and it seems like they're running out of ideas. Destroyer, this is very aggressive. He's tried this a few times. I'm hoping there's a flashbang coming before this peak. I don't like this. He's gone way too far. That's just too much for my liking. And now it's a left bottle in a tough position. He's played relatively well this game. He needs a second, but he's not quite going to get it. He's bought time. Again, Viva's doing the same thing. Risky peaks to try and bring the round back. Oh, he's taken a lot of damage for it. It's cost him. Molotov's going to be out. Is Flying going to survive in this corner? No, but his teammate's got his back. They all now know that there's someone around this angle. Bomb site looking like it's going to be taken. Xiao Sage trying to run the gauntlet in. There's no defense of the bomb. They were just hoping that the smoke would do enough. The player in Palace probably should have kept watching a little bit longer, but instead Dobu's gone on the wraparound. Should be something that the CT side expect, but he is going to be there a little bit later than maybe needed, as Urkus has to try and hold on. He's now with the AWP in hand. Not what he's renowned for, but he's still going to hit the shot. And now Viva all alone. He needs an instant trade, and he doesn't quite get it. Urkus, it's the headshot. Maybe he should be AWPing Mitch, as they do land a 13-13, but I'm going to bring it up again, Mitch.
Go for
Why
it.
does Destroyer make these plays?
Yeah, it is something that we've seen. It feels like every single game they've been in where this guy just goes, Yep, I'm going to YOLO push this straight on up. No support really coming through either. It's not like it's necessarily directive of the round, reliant on his aggression. He just kind of feels it, does it, and a lot of the time fails it. I don't know. Giving away advantages seems to be the kink of Invictus, or of Destroyer at least.
Oh. The bank of Viva and Jalsagia bailed them out this time. Bottle under some serious pressure. How does he even get away with a kill? I'm surprised at that. It takes him a long time to trade as well. And this time, Destroyer, a more passive position. He's got them the man advantage, using his utility to actually hold back a bit. It's risky from Jalsagia as well. He's just about going to get away with it. And push after push. This is such a weird round. Oh, it makes my butt cheeks clench. But Invictus do get the job done.
Well, I'm glad it's affecting you in that region. Giving you some tingles. As Invictus come on up on that victory. They're closing in on the... what should be, I mean, in this round, a map point. And from one that looked like they were just going to get utterly dominated and we would quickly be... we'd probably be halfway through the second map if they continued their trajectory. And yet here they are. They have altered it massively. And we've seen round after round on the CT side where I think Tiger have looked a little bit lost. And it's funny because we see that aggression from Destroyers sometimes be completely unwarranted. In this round, I think it was definitely needed, if anything, to back up his teammates. And so you see where the confidence comes from. I'm going to make a prediction that he goes aggressive in this round now on the back of that little bit of momentum he'd built up. And as I say that, he plays passive CT, so never mind. It's because they're stacking up B with a 3-man hold.
Molotov wasted. These still look like they're going to try and pressure this A site once again. Been very hit and miss, and a lot of the time it's just reliant on their entries. I don't feel like either team has shown any real promise on this T side, and it wasn't for a few individual plays, or a few silly plays, I guess you could say. It could have been an even more dominant half for either squad. And for Tiger right now, that might come back to bite them. That round sticks in my mind where Ekus ran through the smoke. He may have been the player to win them, a lot of them, but that was one that he lost. Bottle, I don't know how that doesn't count as through a smoke, but clearly Counter-Strike knows something I don't. So 45 seconds left, the execution has begun, but they've lost the final prong to their fork and left them in an awkward position now, trying to just push into the site. There's no real safe space to plant this bomb. There's no open position they can plan for. It looks like they're going to try and hold on to the connector, where Bottle currently is sitting. This battle is everything. He just spams bullets until he gets a kill. Like, how do you even play against that? And now there's only 2 players remaining. Tiger, this has fallen apart. It's left all onto Cabal. He needs another miracle, and this time Invictus are not going to gift him one. It's 15 for Invictus, Mitch. I remember a moment earlier in the match where you were like, I'm not even going to sort of harp on you for saying that you think Invictus are going to win. I don't even feel like Invictus have won this map. This has been so messy, so back and forth, and well, it seems like both teams have just had elements of luck and, well, just ridiculous plays. Like what Bottle does in this round. Okay, I don't know how he sees something there. Maybe on his end it looks a little bit different. This one, though, he definitely didn't see anything. And that's what changes the round.
It's similar to what we saw in the first series of the day as well, though, where these kind of things were just coming through. You can shoot your shot completely in the dark, and every now and then they're going to connect and you get a free round. And of all the times for it to happen on 14-13 as it was, that is the worst for Tiger. They have got to feel down and out of this one coming into the final buy round. One last chance to keep themselves in this one. They have to find 2 rounds in a row to bring us to an overtime. It's going to be difficult. They started out by giving up control over A. It's a passive T-side hold. As B is evidently where they want to take things, but they want mid control to work with it. Now they've pushed the Opera out of window. As Viva rotates into CT, there is now a massive gap in that mid defense that they will be unknowingly exploiting. But again, we're seeing this aggression come through. We saw Tiger do it many times. Pushed up in B apps. This time it's Flying who waits on the other side of that smoke. He's fired away though. They know he's here. He has to run for his life as they gear up and push the B site. This is it. The hold for Invictus to win the map. As Flying looks into apartments, he's looking for a victim, but no one presenting themselves just yet. They've hit the brakes.
Yeah, they've got so little time. Urkus is going to get the entry, but Flying quickly trades. They're going to try and run this one back in towards that site of A. And Viva, oh, he's just about going to survive. 10 seconds left. He knows that just holding in this corner is everything. If he can deny the plant, it could be enough to win them the round, but it will go down. 9 in the meantime has found another kill, and a double AWP in the retake is definitely not the prettiest of situations, but that should have been a free kill. Destroyer, he's whiffed, but Viva hits the shot. Needs to find something now, and well, it's going to fall apart. Tiger, I don't know how this one worked out for them. They made a split decision with about 15 to 20 seconds left on the clock. And unfortunately, a few missed shots here and there, and that's enough for them to take the round. The problem is, Mitch, and this is another statistic for you, they have not managed to string 2 rounds together. It has always been 1 and then a reset, 1 and then a reset in this entire T half.
That's not exactly ideal, is it? Doesn't paint a pretty picture coming into this one. Maybe it's time for a tactical timeout, but no, of course it's not. We don't have those things here. Just to be clear, they are in the rule set. They are allowed, but it doesn't look like anybody in this region likes them. I think we've probably seen 4 tac timeouts across the tournament so far. It's been interesting. What would you say, Tom? We average 1 every 2 best of 3s? Pretty more, even.
I don't want to know. I like that. I'm hoping that if the trend continues, this one will probably be a 16-14. And to be honest, Tiger probably should have lost that last round. I think they were very, very hesitant and just got a little bit lucky that they're... I want to say accidental fake, because I don't think that was intentional. Was sold, and that Destroyer just happened to whiff an absolute sitter of a shot, and that ends up getting him and his teammate killed. So it's a bit of an uncomfortable one. They're going to go for this split once again. I'm pretty sure Destroyer is going to go hunting here. He's got the chance for a lineup. He gets one. How does he get 2? How are you not trading that, Cabal? And now it's left onto this push. The bomb further behind, but they get the entry onto Flying. An uncharacteristic miss, and the same for Xiao Sage. They may have just handed this one away. Viva misses the man on the cross. Overtime might be on the cards here. They're going to go for the peek in. The spam through the wall doesn't quite connect, and there is a nade for Viva. That would be enough to get the kill. In fact, Bottle's just gone running the gauntlet into the site. Viva's found another one. It's left all onto Urkas. The man who saved them many a time has got to do it one more, as it's left onto him versus Viva, and he faces the wrong way. It's just about going to be a 16-14. Viva will get it done, and Urkus, it seems like there's nothing he can do here. He gets 32 kills in this map, and that equals a loss.
We've seen it so many times.